Hello and welcome to Channel 2S. I'm your host Second Soundwave, and today we'll be unboxing the high-grade Universal Century Crossbone X0. The Crossbone X0 is a premium Bandai model, and as such, the box is really nothing special to look at. On the front we have a cutout image of the actual model instead of proper artwork, and behind it is a photoshopped action scene created from another image of the kit. The other sides of the box are completely plain with nothing but the kit's name written on the side, and no model number on the end. On the top of the box we have the usual information you'd expect to see on a high grade, but none of the cool pictures. Once you get the box open, you're faced with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags of runners, this sheet of cardboard that has the cloak of the model attached to the back, and finally at the bottom of the box, the manual. Inside the bags are 14 multicolored runners. Let's go through these one at a time. So the A runner is taken directly from the original X1. It's cast in that same silver we're going to be seeing a lot of on this kit. And I gotta say, this looks nowhere near as bad as I thought. There is a little bit of swirling in the parts here and there, but I barely notice it at all unless I'm really close to it. I can't say I feel quite as positively about the color they chose for the frame parts. It's that really ugly purple gray they used to use for the frames of older models that should have died in the 90s. And this is the B runner, it's also from the original Crossbone. C runner's got more silver parts from original Crossbone. And the E runner is really nice looking. This runner really took me by surprise when I opened the box for this model. I knew the silver on this kit was going to have some kind of metallic effect in it. I did not know that they were going to also make the red parts metallic too. I strongly doubt that what you're seeing on the camera is anything close to what I'm seeing in person, so unfortunately you're just going to have to take my word on it that this is a very nice looking runner. The G1 runner is more parts from the original Crossbone, again in silver, and then G2 is just a smaller version of that runner. H1 and H2 is more original Crossbone parts in that absolutely wonderful purple gray that I just love so much. You know, if I hadn't already built my X1, I would have seriously considered just swapping the H and B runners on those kits and building an X0 with the nice gray frame of the stock model. The effects runner for this kit is another very cool looking part. This is the same runner of effect parts that you got with the X1, except they kind of cordoned off different parts of it, so instead of having the shield and instead of having the claws, you now have the extra spikes and sword part for the X3's saber, or broadsword, or buster sword, or whatever you call that thing. Judging by the way a lot of these runners are molded, it's very clear that from the day they designed the X1, they were fully expecting to make all 3 versions. Runner M is the first runner in the box that is not included with the original Crossbone, and the 2 pieces on this runner are designed to make the skull chest design of the Crossbone Kai. So this is also a runner that we've seen before. There's no runner L1, but there is a runner L2. This is another carryover from the Crossbone X1 Kai, and it looks like these are those extra extended pieces for the front skirts that turn them into those grappling hook weapons. And finally, at the end of all this, we're coming to the 2 runners that are brand new to the Crossbone X0. This runner contains pieces for the transforming version of the X3 sword, a couple more awesome metallic pieces for the head and chest, and the effect part for one of his shotgun swords. Runner N2 is very similar to N1, only it has a couple little extra yellow pieces molded in. I'm pretty sure these go on the knees. And finally, the Polycap runner is that same miniature All Gundam Project one that we see on pretty much all HGUC kits nowadays. Now that we've gone through the runners, there's just a few odds and ends to look at, like the sticker sheet. Now this looks like it might be a pretty bad sticker sheet, but having built the X1, I can say that these stickers are actually a lot more manageable than they might look. Or at least the ones for the body are. I can't necessarily speak for the weapon stickers, as there's a few weapons in this kit that I have not built before. You also get a single piece of wire for the grappling hooks. I'm assuming that I'll probably have to cut this in half if I want to use both of them at once. And then finally we have this big old cape piece. I'm going to open this up and see what it's made out of. The cape piece is a very thin plastic. I don't really know how to describe this material. It's thinner and feels a little more crinkly than a trash bag. It definitely feels pretty weird. And just looking at the way that this kind of folds and bends as I'm holding it, I highly doubt that this is going to look anything like a cape once it's on the kit. So the manual for this kit is really cool because it pretty much looks like a normal HGUC manual. It's got a full color cover and everything. It's got all the information about the weapons, and you got some story information on the bottom. There is a surprising amount of work put into this manual for a P Bandai kit. The back of the manual, again, looks exactly like what you would see on a retail model. They talk about his new weapons, they show them off a little bit, and then you got the color guide at the bottom. They even do that thing they did with the retail kits where the last couple pages of the manual are printed in color. And with this being a P. Bandai kit, you would expect there to be a lot of leftover parts, but it looks like there's actually nothing wasted on this entire model. Every single piece on every runner is put to use. Bandai is surprisingly thorough with the high-grade Crossbone kits. From the amount of work they put into this manual to the way the runners are molded, these kits feel like borderline retail models, much more so than some other premium Bandai releases. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can say at this point about the high-grade Crossbone Gundam X-Zero. Once again, I'd like to thank Hangar Bay for supplying me with this kit to review. If you want to get one of these right now, you can go down to the link in the description below. And if you'd rather wait for the review, I'll have that out as soon as I finish building the kit. If this kit turns out to be anything like the Crossbone X1, it's going to be a pretty awesome model. So thanks for watching this unboxing of the high-grade Crossbone X-Zero. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. If you're new to Channel 2S, subscribe for more Gunpla news and reviews. As always, I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.